Two of you and the time you have for each other and may not have for them.
No, see, Larry and I have been together for 11 years.
Service is provided and promotional fees paid by the following.
Turn on the magic of colored lights.
Kids just pop in the colored pegs to create favorite characters or their own light pictures. Light Bright from Milton Bradley.
Just a little reminder that Franco-American gravy is made with natural meat stocks and juices.
For the perfect weekend and the perfect frequent stay program, check into the new Drake, the only Swiss hotel on Park Avenue.
Coming up, law enforcement conducts the largest stolen...
This is Eyewitness News, the tri-state news leader.
Good evening. One of Western Pennsylvania's largest home improvement chains is under the protection of federal bankruptcy court tonight. Busy Beaver Home Centers filed today under Chapter 11 of the Bankruptcy Code.
The privately held company operates 12 stores in Western Pennsylvania and one near Youngstown. Money editor Bill Flanagan has been following the story. Bill, why the filing?
Well, the company's blaming slower sales and a cash crunch, Patty. Busy Beaver's management bought the company 2 years ago in one of those leveraged buyouts we heard so much about during the 1980s. In an LBO, managers buy a business pretty much the way you buy a house. Put a little money down and borrow most of it. Worked fine so long as the firm's sales hold up and the cash keeps flowing. If they don't, the company, like the homeowner, may not be able to make its payments. In Busy Beaver's case, the company says sales have slowed in recent months, along with those of most other retailers. Last month, to keep the cash flowing to make the interest payments on its debt, the company closed 3 stores in Buffalo, New York, and 1 in Boardman, Ohio. Most of its suppliers agreed to extended payment plans. Busy Beaver President Charles Bender says the strategy might have kept the company out of bankruptcy court if it hadn't been for a short-term credit crunch. The company's banker refused to extend the line of credit that carries it through the slow winter season. On top of that, the bank asked Busy Beaver to speed up payments on the loan.
Right now, the banks themselves are under siege.
Greg Drahuschak is a vice president with Butcher & Singer, a brokerage firm.
The banks clearly are battening down the loan hatches, and unless that changes, marginal operations that could struggle through may not.
Discount retailer David Weiss cited similar problems in obtaining financing when it wound up in bankruptcy last month.
Unfortunately, the 2 instances of now Busy Beaver and, of course, David Weiss before it, I'm afraid, aren't going to be the last.
Unlike David Weiss, Busy Beaver is far from ready to call it quits. In a prepared statement, CEO Bender says the company fully expects to recover and emerge from Chapter 11. Busy Beaver says it intends to stay in business by refocusing on its core market. The company says its Pittsburgh stores are profitable. However, Busy Beaver does leave open the door for further downsizing, saying it will be closely evaluating all its operations. Busy Beaver employs about 500 full and part-time workers in its 13 stores. The latest figures on retail sales second the notion that it's not such a Merry Christmas for many retailers. The Commerce Department says sales were down 0.1% in November. That's the first drop in 6 months. Analysts say fewer jobs, less income, and anxiety over the Persian Gulf crisis are all factors. The slowdown in the economy is putting added pressure on state governments, especially Pennsylvania's. The National Conference of State Legislatures predicts 2/3 of the states will have serious trouble balancing their budgets next year. Pennsylvania, California, Florida, New York, and Texas are all mentioned as facing the worst financial problems. Add it all up, and Mellon Bank economist Norm Robertson says the national economy has entered a moderate recession that may continue through much of the first half of next year. However, Robertson says Pittsburgh's economy is holding its own.
I think, on balance, that in 1991, we should do better than the nation as a whole. And that would be the first time that's ever happened in this area, at least in the last 50 years.
Robertson says despite Busy Beaver's woes and recently announced layoffs at Westinghouse and David Weiss, he expects overall local employment to slightly increase next year. So although we won't escape the effects of a nationwide recession, Patty and Ray, Pittsburgh's outlook is a bit brighter.
That's good news. Thanks very much, Bill.
A controversial sign on a Baldwin business has been changed, but the store's owner doesn't think he was wrong in the first place. While some people in the community thought the sign was an ethnic slur, Lynn Hayes Freeland reports the store's owner says the sign was a reflection of America's economy.
Last night, the sign on this Baldwin sporting goods store read, "Remember Pearl Harbor, kill a Jap." This morning, after a growing controversy, the sign was changed. It now reads, "Remember Pearl Harbor. Buy a Jap car." The owner of the store believes his marquee reflects growing American sentiments.
But what it really brings to my attention is the underlying feeling out in the street, the anti-Japanese feeling. I mean, we feel that we're being bought up.
Baldwin officials are relieved Riley opted to change the sign in front of his store because the state's ethnic intimidation laws and the borough's code don't seem to apply in this case.
The response we're getting is that an individual has to be the target, although the law does say as a group. Since he changed the sign, we're not going to pursue it any further, as long as the sign remains down.
There's nothing in the borough code or the borough ordinances for me to stop him at this particular time.
Riley says the sign was one of many he's used over the years, all with the same message. But this is the first time it's created a stir.
I even used before, buy American, kill a Jap. You know, referring to the economy, not to, to run out in the street and kill a first Jap, you see, right?
While Bill Riley likes to advertise his feelings about the American economy, when it comes to the merchandise he carries in his shop, it's a little different story.
I would like to sell all American products, but unfortunately we can't, because the Japanese have 3/4 of this here sporting goods market.
Bill Riley says he's been putting up controversial marquees for the last 4 years. He says his only intention was to cause people to think. And he says if he was successful at doing that, he just may do it again next year. Lynn Hayes Freeland, KDKA, Eyewitness News.
Baldwin police say about 10,000 people drive by Riley's store every day. They received about 14 calls complaining about the sign.
A woman was killed this morning when fire swept through her home in the Leamington section of Pittsburgh. Happened just after 3 o'clock this morning. The woman killed was 70-year-old Dorothea Adair. Firefighters suffered minor injuries. The mothers of 5 children who died in a Turtle Creek fire last spring took the stand in the arson homicide trial of Paul Wright. Dusty Harris's 3 children and Diane Cleary's 2 children died in that fire. One of the issues in the case is whether one of the fathers could take the stand. Harold Hayes reports the judge made his decision today.
Judge Jeffrey Manning ruled that Dusty Harris's husband, John Harris, could not be forced to testify about his original statement to police that his wife confessed she set the fire. John Harris later said he made the story up. But the judge said husband-wife privileges of confidentiality and the fact that he now says the story is false would prevent his testimony. The defendant, Paul Wright, glared at Dusty Harris in the hallway and did not hide his feelings.
She made the statement she did it, and I'm going to rot in jail for it. No way, I won't let it happen.
When Dusty Harris did take the stand, though, defense attorney Bill Brennan pointed out that she did not implicate defendant Paul Wright the first time she was interviewed by police. She said she was too emotionally upset to think straight. But Brennan asked, "Didn't you conclude that you were the prime suspect?" "I don't recall," she said. "Did you tell anyone, 'My God, the police believe I did it'?" "I don't recall." "Isn't that why there's a drastic change in these statements?" "No, it's not," she said. Mrs. Harris did say, though, that she and another mother, Diane Cleary, confronted Wright in June. He said, "Yeah, I started the fire, and the police are too stupid to prove it." Diane Cleary backed up Mrs. Harris' story and said that when she heard those words, "I wanted to kill him. I told him, you'd better enjoy walking the streets because you won't be walking them much longer." Earlier, the sole survivor of the fire, Ray Steele, who sustained 2nd- and 3rd-degree burns over 60% of his body, took the stand. He said once Wright learned that he was charged with raping a 4-year-old girl, he told him, "People like you should be dead." When the defense begins its case tomorrow, John Harris will not be one of its witnesses, but the defendant, Paul Wright, is expected to take the stand. Harold Hayes, KDKA Eyewitness News.
An autopsy conducted on a woman's body discovered in Butler County did not reveal much information. 40-year-old Kathy Weddick was found dead behind a farmhouse in Summit Township. But the autopsy discovered no bullet wounds, no knife wounds, no trauma, no strangulation. Toxicology tests will now be performed. Police are still treating the death as suspicious. Rescue workers at the scene of the jet collision in Detroit last week did not release the emergency escape cone on one of the jets. The failure might have led to the deaths of 2 of the 8 victims. Following that collision, flight attendant Heidi Yost and passenger Kingsley Brown of Pittsburgh went through a catwalk of the tail section of the burning DC-9 to reach an emergency exit. But they died there of smoke inhalation. Investigators have now determined that a release handle that would have activated an emergency escape chute was not working properly. They found the handle partially raised and a piece of it broken off near Brown's body. Now it's been revealed the rescue workers failed to release the tail cone section from the plane.
The fire was very intense when they got there. The smoke was very heavy, and it's conceivable that they may not have seen it. I think until all of those facts are in, I think it's premature to make a judgment.
Now, this is how the emergency exit is designed, the DC-9 tail cone. If a release handle is pulled from either the inside or outside, then the tail cone pops off and an emergency chute drops out. The decision not to release the cone was made by the officer in charge of the rescue crew. Airport officials say he has discretion to determine the safety of such action, so further investigation is necessary to determine if the rescue workers were negligent. Incidentally, a memorial service will be held tonight for a local man who was killed in the collision of those two Northwest Airlines jets. Mauro Battiglione of Point Breeze was a computer software designer for Trends-Arc Corporation and a native of Venezuela. The service will be held at Heinz Hall beginning at 6:30. Coming up next, the latest flight out of Iraq.
And later, a sign of inspiration this holiday season. A candle still burns in a church nearly destroyed by fire.
Two bridges in Avalon Ben Avon are so bad they'll have to be torn down before they fall down, but it will cause problems for residents between them. This is Wayne Van Dyne, the story coming up.
Are your gloves driving you crazy? Dropping a few hints? Well, get a grip on yourself with Totes Toasties stretch gloves. Toasties have treads. They give you a grip that won't slip. So if your old gloves just can't hold their own, pick up a pair that can. Totes Toasties, the little stretch glove with a grip.
Don't hit the panic button. There's still time to find the perfect holiday gift this Friday and Saturday at Value City. $750,000 buyout. A great selection of leisure matched open stock luggage. Not $45 to $100. These totes starting only $9.99. $350,000 buyout. A big selection of Famous Maker fiber optic lamps. Not $20 to $30. They're a great gift. Your choice, $9.99. Part of a $400,000 buyout. Famous Maker trimline phones. Not $20. Only $6.99. Shop Friday till 11 all day Saturday. The holiday panic sale at all Value City department stores.
Pennsylvania lottery tickets make terrific holiday gifts for everybody who deserves a little something.
Happy holidays, Steve. Thanks. Happy holidays.
I know it's the holiday, but...
Oh, thanks, Jerry.
And when somebody wins, guess who looks pretty terrific? Pennsylvania lottery tickets, the $1 million gift idea. Pick up a few wherever lottery tickets are sold.
The average family saves over $300 a year with coupons, and that's over $600 with double coupons.
If you shop at the right place.
Shop for the difference at Shop and Save.
Monroeville Mall hopes you discover everything you've always wanted under the tree. Happy holidays from Monroeville Mall. Great holiday shopping and a whole lot more.
Take a trip through America's time machine.
America's most infamous prison riot.
Attica is a hell here on Earth.
Attica. Inmates reveal what really happened after the smoke cleared. Be there with the people that were there on the next Instant Recall.
Thursday at 7:30 on KDKA TV2.
The last flight out of Iraq left today. 100 people flew from Baghdad to Germany. Among them, 5 U.S. diplomats who had been toughing it out at the American embassy in Kuwait. The Iraqis cut off the food, water, and utilities to the embassy when they invaded Kuwait 4 months ago. Diplomats reportedly are in good condition. The State Department says all Americans who wanted to leave Kuwait and Iraq apparently are gone now.
Now, Ray, former hostages who were allowed to leave Iraq just days ago met with President Bush today. They told him about their 4 months in captivity, and the president assured them he will not give Iraq anything for their release.
Hell no. Not one thing. Don't reward a kidnapper.
If you asked me a week ago or 2 weeks ago whether I thought that I'd be standing in my country right now, I would think absolutely not.
Meanwhile, a judge denied a request today by a group of congressmen to force President Bush to get congressional approval before using force. But the judge said the president would need approval to declare war. Well, it's another Middle East crisis that's taking Peggy Say overseas. She's the sister of Terry Anderson, the longest-held U.S. captive in Lebanon. She says she's going there in January and will not leave without her brother. say has accused the Bush administration of doing too little to free Anderson and 5 other American hostages.
A judge in Michigan today threw out a murder charge against the doctor accused of helping a woman die with the so-called suicide machine. Dr. Jack Kevorkian was charged with first-degree murder for hooking Janet Atkins up to his machine and then permitting her to kill herself. She suffered from Alzheimer's disease and sought the doctor's assistance. Well, the judge says Atkins, not Dr. Kevorkian, caused her death, and that Michigan has no such law against assisting suicide. The prosecutor said he is going to appeal. Published reports indicate that an Amtrak train involved in yesterday's crash in Boston was going too fast. The Boston Globe and the Herald are reporting that the train was traveling at more than twice the 30-mile-per-hour speed limit, but Amtrak says the train's speed has not yet been determined. The train slammed into a commuter train at Back Bay Station, injuring more than 260 people. A class-action lawsuit has been filed in Illinois against American Airlines, and it could affect about 9 million frequent flyers. Now, the suit contends that in May of 1988, American Airlines reduced benefits for people who had accumulated frequent flyer credits. The suit was filed after the airline cut back on the number of seats available to people trying to use their credits. It argues that the change in rules amounted to a breach of contract. The airline had no comment.
William Bennett, the former anti-drug policy chief, told President Bush today that he cannot serve as chairman of the Republican National Committee. He cited personal and professional obligations, one of which is a contract to write 2 books. Bennett was selected by the president to replace Lee Atwater, who's suffering from a brain tumor. Coming up, meteorologist Bob Kuzma has the forecast.
And a bit later, John Burnett is giving a living Christmas gift this year, and you can do it too.
Next year, I'm getting him a fruitcake.
Older floors have cracks and crevices that trap dirt. Top Job has ammonia. Top Job penetrates deep, dissolves the trapped-in dirt that makes older floors look dull.
When I give this job to Top Job, this old floor could look like new.
On December 26, 1990, one of the greatest stars of all time debuts direct from Broadway in the brightest show of the new season. It's Bugs Bunny on Broadway, accompanied live by the Warner Brothers Symphony Orchestra. Your all-time favorite short on the big screen in breathtaking Technicolor. Bugs Bunny as you've never seen him before. Beginning December 26th at Heinz Hall. Order your tickets now. Call 392-4900. That's 392-4900.
Great-looking leather jackets cost a lot?
No, we got them at Burlington Coat Factory.
Those raincoats, those designer coats, that fur, expensive?
No, we got them at Burlington.
Those are terrific jackets. Let me guess.
Right, saved on them all at Burlington.
So you saved on all these coats and jackets at Burlington Coat Factory?
Burlington has more of these at the lowest prices than anybody.
That's why they call it Burlington Coat Factory.
It's America's #1 place to save on coats.
Well, it's hard to believe, but it's time for the ski report. Seven Springs has a 0 to 18-inch base of packed powder. 1 lift and 1 rope tow are operating. 2 slopes are open and 3 trails. Hidden Valley has a 4 to 8-inch base of packed powder. 2 lifts operating. 3 slopes are open. And Wisp down in Maryland has a 0 to 20-inch base of packed powder. 2 lifts operating. 3 trails are open. There is skiing, see?
Well, if you get a ski report, then there's skiing, right?
They're skiing. Of course they're skiing. Going to be a great week. Yeah, it's not going to be a great weekend for skiing. But our weather has changed. It was balmy this morning.
I know.
Turned much colder during the afternoon hours. Temperatures falling into the 30s. Now, look at my forecast for KD country. We'll have mostly cloudy skies. Could be a snow flurry here or there. Some clearing around daybreak or shortly there. Before, I should say. There before? Before. 22 degrees will be our low. And tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, at least becoming mostly sunny during the morning. Afternoon high, in spite of all the sunshine, rather nippy. into the mid-30s at 35 degrees. By mid-afternoon, we have a lot of clouds out there right now. A few snowflakes north of Allegheny County. It's 38 degrees, 56. All right, that was at midnight. Just after midnight, temperature fell into the low 50s by daybreak, through the 40s in the morning and afternoon, into 38 degrees right now. Down to 38 degrees, I should say. Winds are out of the northwest. Anywhere from 15 to around 18 or 20 miles an hour. The pressure's been rising all afternoon. The pollution index still don't have one. Okay, we have a cloud cover. This afternoon, most of southern Pennsylvania, southern Ohio found sunny skies during the afternoon hours at least, but then the low clouds drifted southward, and now we have clouds back in here, cloudy skies. There are a few snow showers, and mostly in northern Pennsylvania, western New York State, up around Bradford on into western New York State, getting snow showers now, raining through Tennessee. Some snow in southern portions of Kansas at this hour. A lot of plains, northern Great Lakes area, only in the teens this afternoon. This morning at 10 o'clock this morning up there in International Falls, it was 1 degree below zero, but that cold air is heading off to the east and northeast. A few snow flurries in our area. Some of those flurries will make their way south, where there are a few snowflakes in the air. Around Youngstown right now, Butler on north, a few snow flurries, snow showers, white in the ground at times up there around Bradford, with temperatures below freezing at 29 degrees. It's 40 at Morgantown. Elsewhere, though, temperatures are running in the 30s. Our weather watcher this evening, Karen Goose, up there in Oil City, Venango County, she said a few snowflakes, not a whole lot, just a few snowflakes, temperature down to 35 degrees. So the cold air settles in the northeast, then it begins to lift out late in the day tomorrow, and over the weekend the cold air is heading off to the northeast. This storm, it looks like a lot of precip with it here. There is a large area of precip, but all of it's pretty light during the day tomorrow. This will move eastward, continue to weaken, and we'll get a little bit of rain in here. Could start off with some sleet Saturday morning. Temps tomorrow in the 30s, 20s northern New England, 20s in the northern plains, northern Great Lakes area, 70s down along the Gulf Coast. Here's my forecast once again for KD Country. We'll have considerable cloudiness, a few snowflakes possible, most of them north of Allegheny County, some clearing around daybreak, low in the low 20s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny skies. High temperature in the mid-30s, about what you'd expect for this time of year. On the weekend, Saturday, a little bit of rain. Could be some sleet mixed in early in the morning on Saturday, a little rain during the day, some drizzle. High temperature late in the afternoon, the low 40s, mid-40s, some sunshine on Sunday. Then a rainy, mild day on Monday, low 50s. And then the cold air arrives once again. We get some rain and temperatures falling into the 30s by Tuesday afternoon.
Well, I'm glad it's not going to rain Sunday, because you know what Sunday is, Bob.
Let's see, the Steelers are playing in New Orleans.
You know where you'll be, Bob.
I'll be, oh, I know what it is. Children's Hospital Show, isn't it?
Hospital Show, Sunday night.
Should be a pretty nice evening, really. Good. Al Julius shouldn't get too wet. Not too cold either.
Thanks, Bob. Up next, John Steigerwald with the Sports Report.
And the Big East could be playing a football schedule next year.
The Penguins have gone 5 games without a win at home. Tonight would be a good night to snap out of that slump. They're playing division rival New Jersey Devils. Mike Lang and I will be back with a live report of tonight's game in just a moment.
Giorgio Beverly Hills, the most extraordinary feeling ever to come out of a bottle. Now, our designer satchel and regatta cruise, $23.50 each with any purchase of $25 or more from the Giorgio Beverly Hills collection at Horns.
Who's got more toys than all the rest? Who's got the newest? Who's got the best? Got video games back to back. Got super low prices and that's a fact. Children's Palace, that's where it's at.
Introducing the new recruits from G.I. Joe. They're rough, they're rugged, and they're ready for action right now at Children's Palace at a super low price that's hard to beat.
Why do women always know when you're not telling them the whole story? And why do they always change plans at the last minute? And why do we keep putting up with them?
Why ask why? Try Bud Dry. It's cold filtered for smooth draft taste and dry brewed for no aftertaste. So while women may remain a mystery, refreshment won't.
It's Christmas every day at Allegheny Center Mall. To prove it, starting December 1st through Christmas Eve, they're giving away presents daily. You can win a $100 shopping spree among other great gifts. and register to win the grand prize Caribbean Cruise for 2 on the magnificent Sovereign of the Sea. Visit Sears, Lane Bryant, Foot Locker, Marianne, KB Toys, and 64 other stores. It's fun to shop, and it's Christmas every day at Allegheny Center Mall, across the 6th Street Bridge from downtown Pittsburgh. Cruise arrangements by Aaron Trent.
Well, will they play football or won't they in the Big East, John?
Well, we don't know yet, but the football world is holding its breath, waiting to find out if Rutgers and Temple and Virginia Tech are going to join with West Virginia and play in an Eastern Football Conference. We still don't have an official Big East Football Conference. What we do have is Pitt, Boston College, Miami, and Syracuse agreeing to introduce football to the Big East, whatever that means. That was agreed upon yesterday, according to Mike Tranghese, the Big East commissioner. Next month, the Big East will meet with the other football schools to talk about forming a conference. But it is nice of the other 4 schools, don't you think, to introduce football to the conference. Now, if they can get Rutgers and Temple to introduce football to some fans in New Jersey and Philadelphia, they might have a conference worth talking about. News from the stadium isn't good for the Steelers. Lewis Lips didn't practice today. He's been downgraded from questionable.
We'll hear from college students and administrators on a new ruling that will stop minority scholarships to college students.
Will Mercer County residents get their way, or will a huge department store be permitted in their community?
And the South Fayette teachers are voting on a new contract. We'll find out if they accept one tonight.
Plus, John Fedko with tonight's Penguins-Devils game highlights.
And Dennis Bowman has the dropping temperatures tonight on the Night Beat. Well, for many years, we've enjoyed looking at the animated characters in store windows this time of year.
In tonight's Exhibit at Large, Jack discovers where many of those come from.
You would never confuse the streets of Steubenville, Ohio with the North Pole. That building over there has a lot in common with Santa's workshop. Inside, these seamstresses are about as close to Santa's elves as you'll get. And they are just a small part of the nation's largest manufacturer of animated characters. We've all seen them in store windows, amusement parks, and seasonal mall displays. This is the Cregan Company. The Cregan factory turns out more than 3,500 moving figures a year. The once small Steubenville firm now is truly international in scope.
We've sold a bunch to England, to Australia, to Japan, South Africa, even made animated pandas for the Republic of China.
They begin as simple sketches in the art department, but soon seem to take on a life of their own. Some of them just hanging around look alive. Others don't. Everything is still done by hand. If you ever want to make a purple hedgehog, this is how it's done. More detail work goes on in the sculpturing department, where Frosty the Sculpturist, that's really her name, brings her own style of creativity to the creatures. It's a factory of fantasies on every floor. Look what I picked up. Sparks fly in the machine shop. They call it a machine shop, but it's really sort of a body shop, isn't it? And the eerie marathon dance in the testing corner goes on day and night. I heard a kid recently say he thought he could see through Santa Claus. No, this is seeing through Santa Claus. And the latest Creaker creation is a computer-controlled, hydraulic-powered country band, which never takes an intermission.
And pick a favorite among these thousands of animated characters? Gee, that's hard. But look at this little guy. Isn't he cute? I don't know what it is, but I like him. I could take him home with me. I'm Etzel at Large.
That was funny.
Was it real, or was it interesting?
I don't know. Our next full report is at 11 on the Night Beat. For Derek Dennis and the entire Channel 11 News team, I'm Peggy Finnegan.
I'm David Johnson. News every hour, on the hour, on your 24-hour news source. Good night.
This district judge has refused to order the state to remove 4 handmade crosses from the Capitol Christmas tree in Harrisburg. He rejected arguments that they endorse Christianity, violating the separation of church and state. Now, the American Civil Liberties Union filed a lawsuit against the state. It says it will seek a permanent injunction. Well, the nation's Christmas tree was lighted this evening. As is tradition, the President and Mrs. Bush did the honors after a short address by the President. Presidents have lighted the national Christmas tree for the past 67 years.
A fire which nearly destroyed St. Stephen's Episcopal Church in McKeesport is still under investigation, but as Mary Rob Jackson reports, The parishioners have found a rallying point around which to rebuild.
When St. Stephen's Episcopal Parish was founded back in 1885, McKeesport was a thriving industrial hub. The church at the corner of 8th and Walnut was, according to the McKeesport News at the time, the first stone building in town and a tribute to the enterprise and thrifts of its people. That enterprise was tested this past Saturday as fire swept through the church sanctuary. As firefighters brought the fire under control and the smoke cleared, Father Mark Lawrence and parishioners who'd gathered entered the water-drenched church to salvage what they could and found a small miracle. The sanctuary lamp, which is never allowed to go out, was still burning.
And after all was said and done and everything was finished, the sanctuary lamp continued to burn. It symbolizes the presence of Christ in the sacrament reserved in the altar, you see. And so that was a symbolic mark of the Lord's presence in the midst of what appeared to be disaster.
The damage was confined to the sanctuary. Its vaulted beam ceiling was charred and burned through in one place. The stained glass windows were bowed and warped, and the plaster walls mottled and cracked. The cost of restoration is likely to exceed $150,000.
But how tough will it be to restore this church in a city as hard-hit economically as McKeesport has been in recent years?
Well, it appears that one small light left burning may be enough to fuel this parish's hope.
I think this will be a real rallying point for this congregation to reach new heights for the Lord.
And as it was said long ago, out of small beginnings, greater things have been produced, as one small candle may light 1,000. Mary Rob Jackson, KDKA, Eyewitness News.
A boy who disappeared from his home in Indiana, Pennsylvania 4 years ago has been reunited with his mother. 5-year-old Jimmy Carpenter allegedly was taken by his father to live in Texas. After years of searching, his mother, Pat Scheib, who has since remarried and now lives in Phoenix, finally found him. They were reunited earlier this week. Scheib has been awarded full custody of Jimmy, and the two have returned to Arizona. The boy's father, Ron Carpenter, has been arrested on charges of custodial interference and contempt of court. He is now awaiting extradition to Pennsylvania. Coming up, some utility customers will soon be paying more for power and water.
And Wayne Van Dyne comes to the aid of people who feel stranded by the closing of the Ben Avon and Avalon bridges. Plus, John Burnett on how to give a living tree this Christmas.
Once upon a time, you had to be very tall to clean high places. But now there's the Hoover Legacy Cleaner, the upright that cleans up, with a handy double-stretch hose that cleans to the ceiling as easily as it cleans the floor. For cleaning high places, it's a different kind of animal. Convenience. Hoover invented it.
The new Legacy Upright with top tool connection is just $199.99. Hoover backs are as low as $49.99. Hurry to Horns at your service sale.
Darling, after 10 years, the only thing I'd change about you is your clothes.
Bugle boy.
Why don't you try this one on first?
Okay, White Cloud, a little off the top?
Yeah, but go easy. Gotta keep it thick.
Okay. You know, a lot of guys would kill for this.
So would a lot of other bathroom tissues. They're just not as thick as White Cloud.
Oh, puttery.
Well, most bathroom tissues are as skimpy as this.
Don't remind me.
And some bathroom tissues are even flimsier.
Oh, bad memories.
Ever tried the real thin stuff?
Oh!
Now you can see why I make it thick.
White Cloud. Only clouds make it thicker.
Share the fantasy. Send in number 5.
At Horns.
Several hundred people who live between bridges in the Avalon-Ben Avon area are really worried because as of last night, both bridges are closed, pending replacement, closed even to pedestrians. That means the people can't get to the school buses or PAT buses. Well, Wayne Van Dyne assisted those communities in a funding dispute for replacement, so he went back today and was surprised to find that most of the problems were anticipated.
The Avalon Bridge over Spruce Run is the worst of the two, but both are bad and both are completely closed. It leaves several hundred residents living between the two bridges with access problems. Pat owns them and said they had no choice.
We had hoped that we'd be able to keep the bridges open long enough so that we can close one, repair it, and then close the second one. But deterioration just happened so fast that we couldn't do that. They could fall down.
And here's why. If even the railing is buckling to this point, you can imagine what it's like down underneath. Look at this, where the real weight-bearing members are located. That metal is in terrible condition, and they are literally afraid the bridge could fall down under its own weight, and they don't want anybody on it when that happens.
My job. I'm going to lose it if I can't get across the bridge.
Pat anticipated Mary's problem and is seeking ways to help. They've left questionnaires in each door asking their needs.
Both school districts, the children, the senior citizen who needs to move out, the persons who need to walk over to get our bus. We can move a lot of the people who are handicapped or senior citizen on our access program. We're working with getting funding for a shuttle.
What about police and fire response time?
That's been addressed through the help of Dave Mayernick by installing an access road through Ben Avon Park. So the concerns of the residents for fire and police protection should be alleviated.
County maintenance also helped and will be crucial in an emergency demolition of both bridges before a collapse occurs. The county is already hurrying the designs and approvals of the new bridges, but till they're built, Avalon Ben Avon residents caught in this construction sandwich will be inconvenienced. But give Pat credit for anticipating it and trying to help. Wayne Van Dyne, KDKA TV Eyewitness News.
And if you have a problem for Wayne, the number to call is 391-2215. Call day or night. And please leave a message along with the telephone number where you can be reached during the day. Customers of West Penn Power will soon pay more for electricity. The company has been granted a 5% rate increase. The average customer's bill will go up about $2 a month. The new rates start Saturday. And the Pennsylvania American Water Company has been granted a 6% rate increase. The average customer will now pay about $270 a year.
Only a few hospitals in Pennsylvania have been chosen for a program designed to reduce the rate of infant mortality and illness in high-risk groups. McGee Women's Hospital is one of 27 facilities taking part in the program called Healthy Beginnings Plus, and it is already providing health care for low-income pregnant women.
The Healthy Beginnings Plus program was born out of the governor's concern over the infant mortality rates in our state and the number of low-weight birth babies born each year in this Commonwealth.
Services for the low-income pregnant women include coordinating medical and high-risk maternity services on an outpatient basis. 18 of the more than 400 women enrolled at McGee already have delivered. The program is state and federally funded. President Bush today saluted 4 companies for business excellence. The firms were Cadillac, IBM, Rochester Federal Express, and Wallace Company, which is a family-owned distributor of industrial goods down in Houston, Texas. In presenting the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Awards, the president said those companies set a standard of quality that should be copied by others.
The employees of a local restaurant are thinking of more than just their own families this holiday season. The children of St. Peter's Child Development Centers will have gifts under their trees thanks to all the employees of Louis Tambellini's restaurant on Route 51. They began collecting gifts for the children a couple of weeks ago, and even the patrons are now getting into the gift-giving spirit. St. Peter's presented a plaque of gratitude from the children to those generous gift givers today. St. Peter's is a non-profit organization that works with mentally delayed and handicapped preschoolers throughout Allegheny County. Coming up, a look at what's happening this weekend.
And a man who has made his life's work out of crayons retired today.
When I found out I had diabetes, I was pretty scared. That's when my doctor referred me to the best source in town, the Jonathan Diabetes Clinic at West Penn Hospital. The staff is great. They've given me the guidance and confidence that I need. I just can't say enough about them. They've made my life easier. They help you control your diabetes, no matter how old you are. I feel great, and a great big win tonight.
For more information, call 578-1724.
I got this gorgeous mink on sale at a fur salon for $19.99.
I got mine at Burlington for only $9.99.
What's the difference?
About $1,000.
Buick, bringing you the quality driving experience of LeSabre. The import-fighting sedan Regal. The most highly praised luxury car in Buick's history, Park Avenue. Now, for a limited time, a special price opportunity on our little limousine, Skylark.
Well, you know, it is such a pleasure to sell somebody a car and to know that you're selling them something that they're going to really enjoy.
The quality Buick is famous for, the reliability you demand.
I have kids waiting for me. I'm a teacher. Let's face it. I need a car I can depend on.
Skylark with a whopping $1,250 cash back. It helps you buy the little limousine with power steering, tilt wheel, air, and more for about $11,000 before individual dealer discounts, before trade-in allowances.
America is back, and it's back with a car called Buick, and I'm proud to sell them.
Skylark, a great American value, now at your Buick Connection.
This Christmas, give a fruit basket from Giant Eagle. It needs no batteries, there's no assembly required, and best of all, it's a gift that comes already wrapped.
Take a trip through America's time machine. America's most infamous prison riot.
Attica was a hell here on Earth.
Attica. Inmates reveal what really happened after the smoke cleared. Be there with the people that were there on the next Instant Recall.
Thursday at 7:30 on KDKA TV2.
The top Crayola crayon maker passed the mold on to his successor today. Emerson Moser is retiring. He has made more than 1 billion crayons since starting a one-man production line 35 years ago. Ironically, Moser disclosed last week he is partially colorblind and has trouble distinguishing blues, greens, and other colors. A portrait of him will hang in the Crayon Hall of Fame in Easton, Pennsylvania.
Well, there are lots of holiday-related things to do on the entertainment scene this weekend. Mary Rob Jackson has a rundown of events.
Visions of Sugar Plum Fairies take the stage here at the Benetton this weekend with the Pittsburgh Ballet Theater's annual holiday treat, the Nutcracker. This year's Nutcracker has a whole new look with costumes by Peter Farmer. The ballet runs through December 30th. And at the Syria Mosque this Friday and Saturday, it's a sellout for Perry Como's holiday show. This Sunday, the Pittsburgh Oratorio Society presents its candlelight concert at the Calvary Episcopal Church in Shadyside. This weekend at Heinz Hall, Alessandro Siciliani conducts the Pittsburgh Symphony in the music of Rimsky-Korsakov and Mozart. The Pittsburgh Symphony celebrates the holiday season this Monday with Handel's Messiah. At Tuesday's performance, the audience is invited to sing along. Also Monday, the Renaissance City Choir performs its 6th annual holiday concert at Trinity Episcopal Cathedral downtown. Friday, Hiram Bullock brings his rock-influenced jazz to graffiti. At the Decade Friday, it's Room to Move, followed by the Clarks on Saturday. The Pittsburgh Children's Museum has a special health and anatomy lesson this weekend with Stuffy. And there's boxing at the Civic Arena this Saturday with Michael Moorer versus Danny Stonewalker as the main event. At the movies, Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder star in the bizarre tale Edward Scissorhands. Robert Redford is a high-stakes gambler involved with the wife of a Cuban revolutionary in Havana, and Cher stars in the coming-of-age comedy Mermaids. And one final movie opening, it's Australia's own Paul Hogan in the adventure comedy Almost an Angel. It's rated PG. That's some of what's happening around town. I'm Mary Rob Jackson, KDKA Eyewitness News.
Still to come, Bob returns with another look at the forecast.
And looking for an unusual gift idea, how about a living Christmas tree?
Big swing.
All right.
There's a new pet.
Chia.
Chia Pet, the pottery that grows. It's fun and easy. Soak your chia, spread the seeds, keep it watered, and watch it grow. And now grow a whole collection of fun with Chia teddy bears, puppies, kittens, rams, bulls. There's even a chia tree to keep your pets company. Chia Pets and Trees, the pottery that grows.
Chia Pets and Chia Trees available at Hills, Ames, McCrory, and G.C. Murphy's.
Most
people could use an extra hand. So give do-it-yourselfers 5 measuring tools in one. This sewn-in CalcuTape from True Value Hardware Stores is a 12-foot power tape with a built-in solar calculator, plus a level, angle finder, and erasable write-on strip. And the sewn-in CalcuTape is just $6.99 in December while supplies last at participating True Value Hardware Stores and home centers.
When you rent from Hertz in Florida, you get more than a great car at a great rate. The real bargain is the company behind the car. Because whatever it takes to make your vacation go smoothly, Hertz is there to make it happen. From emergency road service that's as close as a phone to free unlimited mileage. Wherever you roam. Next time you're in Florida, wouldn't you feel better with Hertz behind you?
Hertz, we're America's wheels.
The sound of horns is service, and we're at your service in a special way Friday through Sunday. We'll gift wrap all your horns purchases for free. There are tons of savings and great last-minute gift ideas throughout the store. And for extra help finding the gifts you need, just look for our experts wearing carnations. We've even extended our store hours for your convenience. Sounds like Horns is at your service. So wrap it up for free this Friday through Sunday at Horns.
Robin Hood Flour, to honor the superb job done by volunteers of area food banks, donated 43,000 pounds of flour, a tractor-trailer full of thanks for all their great work.
On Eyewitness News tonight, Christmas tree growers say the real thing is better for the environment. Artificial tree makers say their product is better for the environment. What's a person to do? We're going to tell you at 11. Speaking of trees, Councilman Baldy Regan finally gets to light a big tree tonight. And archaeologists are concerned a war in the Persian Gulf means bombing Babylon. Plus the Steelers scouting report on Eyewitness News tonight. And Bob, how's the weather shaping up?
Hey, getting cold out there tonight. Cold some more. Things will warm up, though, over the weekend and into Monday. Look at my 5-day. Tonight we'll have, possibly a few snow flurries clearing towards daybreak. 35 degrees tomorrow afternoon with sunshine. Then a rainy day on Saturday. There could be some sleet mixed in with that rain, especially well north and east of Allegheny County. Temperature late in the afternoon, well above freezing, low 40s, some sunshine on Sunday, and then up to 52, a rainy Monday, and the cool down on Tuesday. A little bit of rain, 30s by afternoon on Tuesday.
All righty, thanks, Bob.
And finally, John Burnett goes Christmas shopping for his uncle. He got his hands dirty in the process, but ended up giving 2 gifts, one to his uncle, one to the environment. Here's how he did it. You can do it, too.
I was trying to come up with a Christmas gift idea for my Uncle Walt Burnett, who lives in Charleroi, when a friend suggested a living Christmas tree. Now, the idea was new to me, but deciding to give the environment a break, I showed up at Hillside Nursery in Bell Vernon and met owner Kathleen Sarkett.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm John Burnett.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Sarkett.
It's nice to meet you. You want to help me pick out a Christmas tree?
Sure.
Knowing that my uncle's backyard was the postage stamp variety, I was interested in the smallest tree I could find.
How about this one here?
This would be fine. It's about 3 feet.
Oh, that's neat. That wouldn't be hard to decorate, would it?
No.
Planting it's another matter, but we'll get to that in a moment. If you plan on decorating a living Christmas tree, Kathleen offers these tips. Put the burlap ball on a sheet of plastic, or better yet, a pan sled that you'll find at any toy store. Water the tree right on top of the burlap, 1 quart each day. And don't keep a living tree inside for more than 2 weeks. It may start to blossom, and then you'll be in real trouble. And finally, just like with a cut tree, no direct sunlight or nearby heating vents allowed.
Great. I'll take this, Kathleen. Something tells me this is heavier than it looks. Oh!
It was, and let me tell you, the digging's no picnic either, especially if the ground is frozen. This project only gets tougher the longer you wait.
With my luck, he's probably already got a tree.
Ideally, the hole for your living Christmas tree should be dug well in advance. Recommended width is 1.5 times the size of the ball. The depth should be to the top of the burlap, and it's not a bad idea to load the dirt from the hole into a wheelbarrow to be stored in the garage. It stays warm that way, and it's a lot easier to pack back into the hole with the tree. Cover the hole to keep the kids from falling in, and your Christmas gift is ready to be given.
All done. Uncle Walt.
Hi, John.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks. Same to you. What's going on?
Well, not much. I just stopped by here with a Christmas present for you. I picked this tree out this morning and even dug the hole, as a matter of fact. So you're all set.
That's great, Hon. It would have been nicer if you'd have put it a couple of doors up, because that's where I live.
Out on a limb in Charleroi, I'm John Burnett, KDKA Eyewitness News.
Sean spared no expense on old Unc, didn't he? That is it for this edition of Eyewitness News.
Now stay tuned for the live lottery drawing, followed by the CBS Evening News.
From all of us here at Eyewitness News, good evening.
It opened in a tiny theater, but it made a big mark in history. The Fantastics on Instant Recall tonight at 7:30 on KDKA TV2.
KDKA TV2 Pittsburgh, a Group W Westinghouse broadcasting station.